Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So this Mr. P. Today we'll actually just be checking out some charts that we'll be looking at for this week, right? So these three major charts, I'll actually just be giving three major charts that you should actually look for. Okay, so these three major charts, they're about to form some crazy patterns, right? So if you can actually just follow these patterns, that's the way the patterns are actually kind of like forming for this particular week. If you actually trade towards that direction, then your success rate should be higher, right? Should be higher than normal. So I would just advise you to concentrate on just these three charts. So I'll be giving you two charts that you should concentrate on synthetic indices, and one chart that you should concentrate on currencies. That's if you actually trade currency pairs also. So just remember, guys, if you are new to this team, just remember to hit on subscription button and also turn on notification bell, and also like and share this video so others can actually gain access to this particular video also, guys. So just remember, we actually give out free robot indicators on this platform, right? So robot indicators you can actually use directly from your PC or directly from your mobile devices, just like that, guys. And they are always going out completely free, and other free strategies also and free mentorship, they are always available here completely free. So that's just how this particular stuff goes, guys. So let's check it out. What we actually have in here, first of all, the first chart we'll actually just be looking at will actually be on synthetic indices, right? So we'll look at two synthetic indices charts that you should actually concentrate on. If you actually concentrate on this chart, then your success rate will actually just be crazily high for this week, right? So now the first chart we're actually looking at is V25, sorry, that's Volatility 25, right? Now if I actually check my Volatility 25 now, this is actually what I'll be having, something like this, right? Something like this. So that let me just check this stuff on my 4 hours time frame. So if I check this stuff for my 4 hours time frame, I should be having something related like this, right? So in such a way that we can see that it actually came to hit a major trend line here, right? It actually pushed, and then finally it came to hit a major trend line. If I actually should check this stuff like this, it actually hit a major trend line at this particular spot. Cool. Now I just try zooming that out a bit. Okay, so that's just it there, right? Now the thing here, guys, is this. Now after hitting this major trend line, what needs to happen is actually a rejection, right? It has to just like push down and things like that. So if we actually check through our sub trend lines or our minor trend lines, let's look at that on a 1 hour time frame, then you should be seeing something like this, right? There's the major at the down also, right? It touched the major at the top, and it had touched the major at the down before, right? So if we check out our sub-trend lines, which are actually on this place, we notice that these sub-trend lines, they are waiting to be hit, right? So they are actually just they actually just forces there that are actually just waiting, right? In such a way that it actually hit the spot, pushed up, came back, hit the spot, pushed up to this spot again, and then pushed up to hit a major here. Now what's that telling me? Is actually telling me that if it crosses this my sub trend line, which is my minor trend line or my normal, if it actually crosses this and then it closes below it, right? Now this particular formation started on a Saturday, right? Started yesterday, Saturday, because today is actually Sunday. So it actually started yesterday, Saturday, right? Now this particular formation, this is where we are now, right? This is where we are, right? So this particular stuff was almost succeeded. It has almost succeeded like at this spot, right? So if it completely breaks out of this spot, that's if it completely breaks out of this particular spot and closes below it with at least, let's say, 2 candlesticks, then what we're actually expecting is simple. We're actually expecting this guy to push down like this. Okay, we're actually expecting this to then push down like this, right? To actually push down like this, right? Now, based on calculation, this is how it should work, right? We are not saying that it's not possible. It's never possible for it to also go the other direction. But based on calculation, this is the exact way it should move, right? So it should move and come to hit my other normal at the spot, right? It should come and hit my other normal, right? But don't forget, it can also just push back up, retrace, and keep playing around this my major before coming back to hit my normal, right? So that's also possible, right? That's also possible. But then we just know that this guy should actually come and hit our normal, right? So it should hit our normal. We actually have different levels of our normal here, like you can see. So it should hit this and possibly crosses below this with 2 candlesticks, closes below it with 2 candlesticks. Then it should come to this and just keep dropping like that. And then the destination will now be my major trend line, which is actually at the spot, right? This will now be my my final destination. Now it doesn't mean that all of this stuff will happen within this week. What I'm I'm actually just trying to tell you is this: you should try catching the formation that is about to happen here. There will be a fall here, possibly there will be a fall. From what we can see, this stuff has almost completely broken this part here, has almost completely broken our sub trend line here, right? And then what we're actually seeing is actually an elevated channel, right? Now, those that actually have the 21 chart patterns, that's the Mr. PFX 21 chart patterns, they actually know that this is actually an elevated channel, right? So they have gone through the book. They actually know that. So that this particular stuff should actually just push and break below the spot and then starts dropping down to that spot. Now, according to calculation, that's how it should work. We are not saying it's not possible to go against, but by calculation, at least 85-90%, that's how it should move, right? So after that, it should just push down and hit this my order level at the spot, right? And then keep dropping down to my weekly range low and then hit my weekly range high, and then just push down again just like that until it keeps heading to the spot. So it might not head down to our major, right? It might not head down to our major within this week, maybe next week or so, but just take note not to actually miss this entry, guys. So let's actually just check our next chart, right? Let's actually just check our next chart. So the next chart will be on our crash and boom, which is actually our crash 1000. So we'll just be looking at our crash 1000. Now, the crash 1000 formation is actually so smooth also, right? You should actually watch out for it this particular week also. Now, in such a way that this particular stuff is actually within my minor here, right? It's actually within my minor, and this particular minor is actually so strong because the second it actually just created the second touch. Okay, so it actually just created the second touch, and it had gone above my daily range high also, right? So you can actually see that. So that as it is now, it has a high percentage, at least 80% success rate of this stuff actually pushing down itself, right? Now, of course, we actually have another minor here. We actually have another minor here, or a normal, telling us that it can still play around it can still play around that normal here, right? It can still play around it before completing this movement. So at the end of the day, what we are still expecting here is just the same thing. We're actually expecting this guy to actually just keep playing around. Possibly this will be a fast movement. This will be a fast movement, play around the spot and then drop down, right? And then drop down towards this particular level. Now, don't forget that on this particular spot, there is this here also, right? A normal, which I said. So it can still move around it, maybe come back to retouch our major also before completing this movement. But just watch out for a breakout at this spot with two candlesticks, and then it to start running downwards just like that with this order normal that is actually here, right? But now also note that when it's moving, it actually needs to have some breathing spaces, right? Now, first of all, you check this where our horizontal actually comes in, right? So we're actually having our horizontal here, which is actually a nice support, right? Meaning that it won't just break through this guy easily. So even if it breaks through this my normal at this spot, it has to come here and maybe waste, I don't know, a few hours here again before breaking below it and dropping back down, right? So it's even possible to just catch the trade at this spot or catch the trade at this spot. Either way is also perfect, right? Either way is perfect. So just take note of our support, which is actually at this particular spot. So basically that's just how this particular stuff goes. So you can actually just check the trade, just keep monitoring it. That's our crash 1000 and also our Volatility 25, right? So I'm just trying to go straight to the point, so this video is not so long. You can just go through the chart and actually see what I'm actually talking about day life, right? So the last stuff we'll actually be looking at should be our currency, right? So we'll just be checking out our currency now. So for our currency, we'll actually just be checking our Great British pound, right, to our USD, right, which is GBP to our USD, right? Now the thing here, guys, is this. Minor here is actually quite strong, but then we actually need to take note of our internal resistance, which is actually at the spot, right? Those that have gone through our what do you call it now, our mentorship program, they actually understand what I'm talking about here, right? Our internals, right? Now, in such a way that this particular stuff that is actually here, like it just has to, maybe as the market opens, the first thing it should do should be pushing up to hit this internal resistance. That's the first thing it has to do, right? Now after hitting this my internal resistance, which is here, this place will now determine its final movement, right? Now if it gets rejected at the spot, then we are expecting this particular stuff to actually move like this. We are actually expecting this particular stuff to actually move down to this particular level, which is actually at the spot, right? down to this particular level, which is actually at the spot. Now, that's if it gets rejected after hitting my internal, because it has to hit my internal, right? Now, after doing that, now if it doesn't, that's if it doesn't get rejected, that means it will go and hit my minor here. And if it hits my minor, two things can happen. If it breaks above it with two candlesticks, then it will start pushing up. So at this particular spot, what I should be expecting if it ever comes to my minor are sells. That's just what I'm thinking about. So if it ever comes to my minor at this particular spot, right, I'm just taking sells. Now, immediately as I take sells, what I'm actually trying to do next is to actually place my stop loss around my key level 2, which is actually at the spot, just above it somehow, right? Just above it, which is my key level 2 there. I just want to put it above it there, right? Now I put my stop loss. Now, by the time it breaks through your stop loss, by the time it gets to your stop loss, it would have broken by two candlesticks, right? That's why we're actually using key level 2 there. Now, those that have gone through my mentorship, they actually understand what I'm actually saying. So if you haven't, you can actually just check through my free mentorship also. I think some information are there also, right? So the key level 2 is actually just above this particular spot, right? So by the time it hits your stop loss, it would have broken out. So as a then you now know that the final destination that it's going towards is now actually my minor, which is at the spot. So you should be able to pick all the pips from this particular spot, from this particular range here to through to this particular minor, which is actually here. So from there, you just know that to keep pushing up, just keep pushing up towards this particular direction, which is here, right? Towards this particular direction, which is here. But for the now, what we're actually just looking at currently is actually just this my internal resistance, right? And this my sub trend line, which is my minor, which is at this particular spot. Now, those are the two things we are looking at. From the current formation, this particular stuff should be pushing down, right? From the current formation. Now, the only thing that can make this actually push up crazily is because we actually have a double bottom here, or some people can actually even call this a triple bottom, right? Now, in such a way that should actually give it a really good momentum, right, to actually push up above this particular stop. So for the now, guys, you should actually just keep looking at this GBP USD, right? Just keep monitoring it. Remember, I already told you, if it hits this my internal resistance and then it gets rejected, that it is never went above it or close above it, note is coming back to this particular spot here. We actually have my major here, right? We actually have my major. Just note is coming back to that place. It's just going there. Nothing can actually stop it. Okay, at least 80 or 90% of the time when it gets rejected, it just goes back to your major. That's what it does. Right now, if it doesn't, if it then closes above it and then hits your minor, then also note that it's pushing back down to your major, which is actually at the spot. It's pushing back down. Now, if it then crosses this your minor, then know it's just going on a flight, right? To just keep pushing up, of course, retracing, comes back to retest and just keep going up towards your what do you call it now, towards where I actually have my minor at this particular spot at the top of it. So we were just able to look at this chart on a VIS 25, that's a Volatility 25. We're able to check our crash 1000 and also our GBP to USD, right, for currency traders, just like that. So guys, just make sure you actually check out the chart just the way I told you, right? Just make sure you actually focus on this chart and actually just monitor their movement so you don't miss the crazy movements that will be happening this week, because the movements will actually be crazy. I actually posted some movement from last week, right? I actually posted some movement from last week. We were able to on an account, we were able to push an account that's a really minor account, I think about 150 or so. The video is on my Telegram group there. So if you are not part of the Telegram group, just simply check on the description box there. The link to the Telegram group is there, so you can just simply join our Telegram group. So if you check the group, you should actually see a minor account. We were actually able to move from 150 bucks to 1.5k, right? And we're able to do that within 28 hours, right? Just a day and roughly 4 hours, right? We're actually able to catch that sniper entry and just do same thing. And I actually drop all the analysis also just like that. So guys, that's just how it goes. So if you're new to this particular thing, just remember to hit on the subscription button, hit on the like button, and also turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any video that will be dropping out from this place. So remember, in this place, we actually drop free robot indicators and other free resources that can actually help your trading career, and that can actually improve your trading skills, just like that, guys. So that's just how it goes, guys. It's a bye for me, guys. I'm Mr. P, guys. Peace.